Hey, good evening. It's Monday night, the end of Memorial Day. As this day draws to a close, I was thinking about the video we did this morning about the commitment of those who willing to give their lives, as my dad did, and again, so many scores of other people who had tremendous courage to walk into battle, knowing that they were people who wanted to kill them. And that faithfulness teaches us something about what Jesus says about what it means to be a disciple and the cost of being a disciple. In Luke 14, there's some words that are troubling a lot of times when Jesus describes what it means to be his disciple. But I think if we put this in the context of Memorial Day, and we understand exactly what's happening, then we get a vision of what it means to walk into this night of challenge and come out victorious on the other side, where my Christian life is not dependent upon the immediate outcome, but it's about bringing honor and glory to God. That's huge for us. Listen to the perspective here that Jesus gives. And this is so like Christ in the way he deals with things, and so unlike what we do. In Luke chapter 14, we read this: large crowds were traveling with Jesus, and turning to them, he said, "If anyone comes to me and does not hate his father and mother, his wife and his children, his brothers and sisters, yes, even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. And anyone who does not carry his own cross and follow me cannot be my disciple." And then later in the chapter, he says, "In the same way, any of you who does not give up everything he has cannot be my disciple." Now, this is used in some kind of a strange way sometimes to make us feel guilty, if we have any earthly possessions, to make us feel guilty if we're not, quote unquote, all in for Jesus all the time, in a constant state of witnessing or whatever. And commentators like Dale Ralph Davis and others give us a clearer perspective here. Memorial Day gives us a clearer perspective here. Those men on that ship in the picture this morning, they were sailing into literally harm's way, where people were shooting at them, wanting to kill them and blow up their ship, them with it. But yet they went ahead anyway. You see, you can't be on a mission about ready getting land on the beach and go into combat with the enemy and think, you know what? Maybe I want to be back home. Now, of course, they no doubt thought that they would rather be back home. But they couldn't think that way. Their mission was to land on that beach and take the objective, even though they were missing home and all the rest of it. It didn't mean that there was a literal hatred of their own parents or their children or fathers and brothers or whatever. What it meant was the focus is all about doing the mission right now. I cannot be concerned with those people that I'm giving my life for to protect. You see, in this way, this focus on serving God, not being captured by the will and love for parents and family and friends, is the way that you serve and love them. My dad didn't know if he was coming back. They had just married, didn't have any children yet. He didn't know, but he was committed to going. And it meant, in a sense, leaving his wife and being committed to another path, which might even take his life. But he was living for something more valuable. Well, what is being said here, Jesus says, you can't be my disciple and have your focus on other things. You can't be involved in returning good for evil and living for those that you love if you want to serve yourself first or serve them before God. God has got to be your focus. That means you put all those things aside. So I turn away from, hatred is turning away from something. So I turn away from that focus and give my focus wholly to God. That's what Jesus is talking about here in Luke. Not going on a a plan to hate your parents or hate your children, but on a focus that is turned away from that and bringing honor to God. And that's what people like my father did when they went off to war, knowing they possibly would not come back. If you're having second thoughts about going and coming back, not that you are ready to walk away from everything, but if you have those second thoughts, you're not going to be effective in your mission. We've got to be persuaded that following Christ is worth all that we have. And that's how we honor him. That's how we honor those whom I love. So the cost of being a disciple of Jesus, Memorial Day teaches us that. It's everything we have. It's being all in for Christ. And when we're all in for Christ, there's no better way to love and care for those that are precious and dear to us. Memorial Day. What it means to follow Christ. It's a great lesson. Again, thanks so much for being here. I'm so thankful. Lord bless you this night and rest well with him. Have a good night. Bye-bye.